There was another clip too. And again, these I haven't watched these yet. I'm just going off of what the quote was from the Little Rock Touchdown Club with Hunter Yurachek speaking out of it. One of the things that this quote says was that I think to be competitive, we may have to figure out what the third lane looks like for the University of Arkansas. That's what the quote is. So let's hear what this is about more specifically.
Let's all raise our hands. If you're driving down I-40 and the speed limit's 55, but you know there's not going to be a trooper out that day, how many are going 65? Right? That's what's happening in college athletics right now. And so you have to decide as an athletic director, are you going to get out in this lane that you know you're not supposed to be in and operate without the highest level of integrity, or do you want to stay in these two lanes? And that's where the rub is coming right now in college athletics. Until we get our enforcement agency up and running, you're going to continue to have schools operating in that third lane, and that's a bad place to be, in my opinion. It's bad for college athletics. And I don't want to operate there, but I think to be competitive, we may have to figure out what that third lane looks like for the University of Arkansas.
Buddy, you get in that lane and you go as fast as you want to until you get caught, until that trooper pulls you over. And guess what happens? You pay the ticket and you move on. Are you kidding me, man?
And here's my thing, John. Arkansas does get in that lane. Like the idea, because I get conceptually, I'm sure that's going to work on some people. They're going to see that and say, you know what? Mike Anderson way. I want to be that integrity. I want to do that. Here's the problem. Arkansas does not play by those. Arkansas is not that. They do pay players. They do cut deals and find compensation for their players outside of NIL and then funnel it through stuff. They do stuff. They do it in football. They do it in basketball. They do it in baseball. They reach out to players. You think David Oakey just woke up one day while he was in his dorm at Abilene Christian and was like, I want to be a Hog? No. They reached out to him. They got him on board. They gave him money to come to Arkansas. Spoiler alert. Like, it's Arkansas is in that lane. They just haven't fully committed and are not doing it as well. They're going 65. Their opponents are going 90. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. He's like, oh, we won't go over that lane. We will not break any rules. You break rules in every sport, just like everyone else does. There are people that just break rules more and better and more efficiently and more effectively and don't waste money on stupid stuff and don't hire bad coaches and then don't backtrack on stuff that they say. Like, you can't say, oh, we don't get in that third lane. That third lane's a bad place to be. You literally, every single athletic department at the University of Arkansas operates to some extent in that third lane. John Calipari is the head coach of Arkansas's men's basketball team. You think Arkansas football or Arkansas basketball has never gone over to that third lane? If you believe that, you are a blithering, booger-eating moron. And you like, we are just not living in the same world. You can't say, oh, man, I can't believe all these other opponents, all of our opponents would go to that third lane. We would never do such a thing. You're in the third lane. You're just still getting lapped in the third lane.
Yeah, like, again, since we're using these metaphors about the lane, what it reminds me of is that Arkansas is in that lane, as you said, but the speed limit is 75 and Arkansas is going 55. And then every time someone's trying to pass them, they have to move over and let them pass. You're letting them pass. You're in there already, but you're letting them pass. You could go that speed limit. You could go faster than what the speed limit's supposed to be. You could. You should. It's encouraged. But this idea, like you said, that Arkansas is 100% squeaky clean and the entire athletic department, they've never done anything to this point, is ludicrous. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd, because I don't care what anybody says. You mentioned basketball for sure. Dave Van Horn in baseball. Do you not think that listen, we love Dave. Dave's one of the best, but do you think Dave's just sitting back being like, oh, all these guys are going to LSU and Georgia. I'm getting all these amazing players because they just love me and they're coming here for free.
John. That's how Dave Van Horn builds those rosters. The power of friendship and leadership. That's how he does it.
That's right. Like, get out of here with that, man. Like,
what is it with the University of Arkansas and left lane monikers? Why do we love that left lane so much? What is it about the left lane that we love to reference?
Yeah, we love to reference it, but apparently not drive in it. We just like to say, hey, it's over there. Golly, man. Hunter, people know how I feel about Hunter Yurachek and everything, but it's just like hearing that quote just makes me mad all over again. I'm like, why are you? Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't say that you're doing that. Everything about Arkansas is squeaky clean and they're not doing it, but all these other teams or schools are cheating. Well, you know what? All those other schools are having a lot more fun. All right. That's how fans look at it. They're having fun over there. Look at freaking Vanderbilt. You don't think they're just partying up over there? Vanderbilt? Missouri, Ole Miss, they're having a good time. We're over here being like, well, we do things the right way. Ask our guy Curtis and Dudley about the Cardinal way and see how many championships that's won them over the past few years. You don't think that they would love to, maybe do it a different way to win championships? Of course they would. Jeez, man. It's so
you think that worked on the people in that room, that they were like, you know what, damn. We're never going to be good in football. We're going to magically be good in basketball and baseball somehow, but we're never going to be good in football. But at least we can lay our head on that pillow at night and know that we did it the right way. And we didn't bend any corners. We didn't do anything. We did it with integrity. Like, do you think that really, and by the way, like, if you do feel that way, like, I guess that's fine, but it's like, we've had some of these, we have people argue with us all the time that, hey, Arkansas is this 9-3, 10-2 team. The athletic director has made it clear, and I've said this publicly, that is not their goal. And I'm not saying that they don't want to win. Of course, Arkansas wants to win. Everybody wants to win. That is not priority numero uno for Arkansas football. That is not like the thing that drives them. They do not wake up every day believing in their heart that Arkansas should be the best program in the country. And the plans, they don't even pretend to tell you that is the plan for Arkansas to be the best football program in the country. I mean, your athletic director is out here saying, and by the way, he's not wrong. 100%. We said that. He's not incorrect about the idea that Arkansas is not set up to win a national championship. They don't have the money. They don't have the financing. All that's true, but he doesn't even pretend that is the goal. He's not even to sell you on this idea of we are going to have the best program, the best team, the best coach, the best players, the best any of that. He does not even try. And again, I think you should just take him at his word. Everyone's arguing that Arkansas is going to go 9-3, 10-2. Your athletic director doesn't even think it's possible. He doesn't even think you could possibly achieve that.
Well, okay, Andrew, and I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but this just pisses me off, man, because my question is we just talked about two things that Hunter Yurachek said. Arkansas can't win a championship in football due to finances. That's as simple as that. So would getting in that third lane, doing things a different way, would that get you financially to winning a championship? Is that an option? Because you cannot tell me that we can't do it here financially when there's a lane over there that if you got in, you could, and you're refusing to do it. That is a massive problem if that is the case. If it's as simple as just getting in that lane, taking that lane, and then suddenly you have what you need to win a national championship, but you are choosing based on moral high character or whatever, which, as we've saw, it doesn't matter what you do in college athletics. Cheat your rear off. There's never any repercussions. Nobody gets in trouble. So why not go crazy? Who's gotten in trouble? Might as well. And then if everybody's doing it, you're getting left behind. And guess what? You're going to continue to get left behind. No one's going to feel sorry for you. You're going to get coaches fired. You're going to get Sam Pittman fired. You're going to get these defensive. You're going to be a school that nobody wants to come and coach at because they know you're not going to do whatever it takes to win and set them up for success. You just have to be successful under the groundwork that has been laid by this administration, and no coach is going to want to come into that. Not a single one of them.
And look, like with Sam Pittman, there's a lot of times that Sam Pittman goes and he talks about the football team and he talks about their issues. And we're not saying Sam Pittman is capable of fixing all the problems, but if you're going to sell us on this idea that the only thing getting in our way was these defensive adjustments that we needed to make, and now we've made them. And the only thing that was getting in our way was revenue share, and now we've split that up. That's going to be the thing. And Yurachek, by the way, slipped that in there. Now with revenue share, now we're moving closer. This whole thing is going to change, and that's the one thing in our way. And now we've got it out of the way. That's why we can't accept that, because we know it's not true. You cannot, as a Razorback fan, accept when Hunter Yurachek tells you the only thing standing in between us and being a nationally relevant football program is that we just won't get in that third lane. Because then what if we all decide unanimously, okay, you know what? You say that's the only thing in the way? Cool. Blow through that. Go ahead and get in the left lane. We give you the free. Matter of fact, we'll help you do it. There'll be people in the state of Arkansas who'll be like, I will help you with my business. Let's do this. Let's go to that third lane and let's do whatever we got to do. And then what are you going to do as an athletic director? Say, well, actually, no, we can't. You would have to then come to terms with the fact that you are in the left lane. You are just getting passed in the left lane, like you said.
Yeah. And I know we'll get to some of your chats, folks. We also got to do a recruiting update that we'll play with Dudley. But Andrew, I hate this movie, but you're a Star Wars guy and you understand. I feel like Poe Dameron. Tell us we have a plan, that there's hope, that there's something that can be done to fix this. what you said is true. Okay, how do we fix it? And I feel like that's just the one missing ingredient in all of this. It's like, tell us how that can be fixed. And it says, oh, well, it's just finances. Okay, then is it the boosters? Is it the donors? Is it the common fans? Is it just communicate with everyone? Because every Razorback fan wants to win. They want to win, and they will flood you with money as long as they feel like you're doing whatever it takes to win. But if you just say, can't happen, and you're like, okay, so do you have any options for us? Like, do you have anything we can do? Well, you hate collectives. You hate the NIL. Like, you jacked up the prices on people. You've cut costs right and left. You can't sell the naming rights to the Razorback Stadium. So what's the plan here? Like, what do? We just need to sit here and hope blindly that it's all going to be okay? I just cannot stand this lack of incentive and this lack of plan and lack of communication of just getting people all on the same page across the state, because, man, everybody wants the same thing. They want to win. And if you don't communicate the best path to get to that point and instead just go, no, we have no chance, can't do it, then people are going to want you fired and want you gone until they can find somebody that will.
And John, it's not lost on me that Arkansas, even if you put the literal best coach in the country in position of Arkansas right now and the best athletic director in the position of the University of Arkansas, it wouldn't immediately equate to Arkansas being the best program and the best team. And hell, maybe if Nick Saban were at Arkansas, they maybe never even would realistically become the best program. Maybe they couldn't. I don't know. I'm not even predicting for you. It's not lost on me that there are factors that play against Arkansas. There's no doubt about that. Like, we're not even arguing against that, but it's not good whenever you have the people that are in those leadership positions who not only are aware of this, but accept that and say, well, we're never going to be the best because of X, Y, and Z. I don't want to hear that from you.
No.
I know it's true, but I don't want to hear that from the leader. Like you say, I want to have the leader tell us, hey, we are going to be the best, and here's how we're going to do it. And here's how we're going to do it. It might not even have to really happen, but there has to be something that we're believing in here. I don't like whenever you have the head coach of the team that fully knows full well, hey, we have a ceiling. We have certain teams we can't compete with. We have certain teams we can't beat. And by the way, it differs from what Sam Pittman believed when he took the job, and he took over a 2-10 Arkansas team. The first game that Sam Pittman coached against was Georgia. His first game as a coach was against Georgia, and he was so disappointed, John, in the press conference after that game. You can go back and watch it. And he's like, man, like, I know, because everybody was doing the questions of, hey, you played well against Georgia. How do you feel? And he was like, guys, I know it's going to sound crazy. I thought we were about to beat these guys. Like, I really felt in my heart that we could beat these guys, and we were going to go out there and we were going to be number one, that we could be that team. And I understand that reality, we all look at that and say, hey, there was no way you were going to beat Georgia. We all knew. The greatest stories in sports are when guys believe in themselves and they know, hey, I'm going to do whatever I can to be the best, whether I am right now or not. I'm going to do everything I can. And then one day they come close to it and we celebrate that. And Bobby Petrino, I don't know if Arkansas was ever going to be the number one program in the country under Bobby Petrino. In fact, I would argue they weren't. I've argued that with you before, that like it really wasn't going to be this happy fairy tale ending, but I never had to wonder, does Bobby believe they can beat Alabama? Does Bobby believe they can beat LSU? That was never in question. And I know he lost to Alabama. I know he lost to LSU in 2011, but it's like he knew and he felt they could do that. They could win the national championship. I just think it's a huge red flag when your head coach and your administrator don't even believe that the program could accomplish things that you guys want them to.
Yeah, it's a huge alarming thing. And I know we spent a lot of time on this, but I mean, this is what's been going on with Yurachek and at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Because I know we'll move on to some other things and get to your chats and everything. But, the last thing I'll say is that I remember, and you remember, Andrew, we all do, when I, talked about the, not accepting mediocrity and the mantra of stupid people and all that crap that came from it. That all stemmed from a conversation that I had been having with several donors, boosters, who were told this exact thing. This was months ago, earlier in the year. They were told that Arkansas football can't win a championship in it, so what are you going to do? And I got hit up by people just being, got criticized, got almost made fun of, got all this stuff. And then here you are with seeing Yurachek say the exact thing of like, we can't do it. And I had coaches, as I said, talk to me. They're like, who is saying that? This is upsetting to me. This is horrible. This is not what we want. It burns me up. And it burns me up for Razorback fans because I don't want to make this a thing of cost and all that. But Andrew, you know how much it is for these fans to go to these games and to invest in the Razorback Foundation and get these tickets and all that. Thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars that they probably don't have, or they probably don't want to spend and could spend on other things that could be more beneficial, but it's because they love the Razorbacks. Imagine telling all those people spending all that money. You're investing into a program, you're investing into something that has no chance of being successful, has no chance of being what you want it to be. Sorry, but we still want your money. That is a stupid approach. Even if it's not true, I kept saying it. Lie to me about it. Just lie to me about it.
Right.
Instead of doing this approach, it's costly, it's dumb, and I just can't believe we're hearing an athletic director say these things publicly. I just cannot believe that this is what's going on, especially knowing the current atmosphere and the current feelings that so many Razorback fans have towards him, towards the administration, towards Pittman. It's like doing nothing to help the situation. You're only making it worse.
That's a great point, John, about the way that we're set up. Everyone in the SEC is operating. Vanderbilt is who we've looked at for years and said they're the worst program, they're the worst everything, worst fan base, worst stadium, worst all that. Vanderbilt, Clark Lee, truly in his heart is like, hey, we're going to be the number one program. He's telling his team that behind closed doors. He's not going to the media and saying that. He's telling his team last year, we are going to be the number one program in the country. We are going to win the national championship. We are going to do it. Obviously, they're never going to freaking do it, John. Obviously, Vanderbilt's never going to be, but they are operating, doing everything they can to get as close to that as possible. Every year, there's one team that's going to win the football national title, but there's a bunch of teams that are scratching and clawing and fighting to be number one. And I understand that Arkansas may never be number one, but if we are no longer trying to be, then we're never going to get anywhere close, ever.